All right. Yesterday I was on Dan Benjamin Hour, and a couple people asked about the art that was on my wall in my home office. So I thought I'd take you on a tour. All right. So I'm upstairs. I'm going to walk down into the basement, which is where my home office is. So none of this is absolutely amazing, but I think it's a fun collection that I've picked up over the years. So the first thing that I see is this Magritte print. It says in French, "This is not a pipe." I've worked with data for most of my career quite a bit, and decided that it was a good idea to have a piece of art that would remind me that data is not the same thing as the real thing that it represents. So this painting is why I have that, or that thing about my work is why I have this painting, and I think it's great. All right, so one of my all-time favorites is this. I like Dr. Seuss, always have. This, if I zoom in, you can see that the caption says, "The Bee Watcher watched the Bee Watcher." Idea is pretty easy, right? Which is that there's only one person in this painting doing any work, and that's that little bee right there. And then everyone else is just watching the person watching the person watching. And the reason I have this is that you have to have faith in the person doing the work, and that no amount of observation can really substitute for having the actual the worker be effective. So I've always loved that, still do. All right, let's take a look at some others. Well, here's where I work. Oh, what's this called again? So that's "The Bee Watcher watched the Bee Watcher." That's what this painting is. Again, a Dr. Seuss. He's an incredibly brilliant person, so recommend checking out more about him if you don't know too much. All right, so, well, this is where I work. I didn't get a good shot of this in the Dan Benjamin Hour yesterday, but here we go. So I have a number of New Yorker cartoons on the wall. I love the New Yorker, and I like cartoons, so there we go. This one I think is hilarious. So, Business 101, you can see all the students are in cubicles and they can't see to the blackboard or the whiteboard, whatever it is. I think this may have been given to me as a gift back at a job about 8 years ago, but love it. This is the painting that someone asked me about during the Dan Benjamin Hour. Maybe hard to see, but there's a scale on the left that says from work to talk, and then it says charlatan, martyr, hustler. This is a print from Joey Roth, an artist that has some other posters. If you search for charlatan, martyr, hustler, you'll find this. And his other stuff's pretty cool. All right, maybe my favorite of all, which is why I hang it above where I work, is this photograph. And generally people think that it's of JFK, and obviously it is of JFK. But the reason that I have it on my wall is because of Robert McNamara, who's that guy. Robert McNamara is a very famous person, a very controversial person. He was the Secretary of Defense during the Vietnam War. He was the CEO of Ford. Briefly, he innovated a lot of the bombing techniques that were used in World War II that were so destructive. He was a brilliant man and also did some bad things. And I like this photo because it shows so much promise in him, and he kind of failed himself, I think. And just a good reminder that you can't just be talented; you have to be good in the choices you make. So that's why I have that above my workspace. All right, this is an original. Actually, this is a print of an original. A good friend of mine named Adam DeVarney, a Chicago-based artist, and he gave this. Well, I may have purchased this from him. He either gave this to me as a gift or I purchased it from him. I don't remember which one. But he did a series of paintings about businessmen, and he kind of has a collage, sort of dark feel to his work, and a bit of a retro feel. And something about this I just loved. I like the solemn expression. I like the fact he's not looking. I like the treatment of the eye on the one side, and then you can just see the lens of the glasses on the other. So again, his name is Adam DeVarney, and you can look him up. I think that he probably sells pieces from this collection still. Okay. This is a cartoon from the New Yorker. I'll zoom in so we get a look. It says, "Somewhere out there, Patrick, is the key to increased sales. I want you to find that key, Patrick, and bring it to me." Nothing too subtle about the joke here, but like a lot of New Yorker cartoons, I just love it. This is an original. This is obviously a oil painting, and we had an artist working for a company that I owned, and he went by a nickname, which was Abe Eagle. So you can see that little signature down there. That wasn't the artist's name, but that's what he went by. And he just whipped this together, I think, one day right before coming to the office as a little memento to put on the wall, which I really liked. Only a few more here. So this is another New Yorker cartoon. I don't think, again, massively original like some of this is, but hilarious, right? Something the internet doesn't know. I think this was given to me as a gift also, back at the same time that other piece that I mentioned before was given. Alright, one of my favorites. This is a photo that some people know. This is a photo that was taken the day that Albert Einstein passed away. So I forget, I think it was a Time magazine reporter, or photographer rather, was called when he passed away in New Jersey. And instead of going to where he passed away, the story goes something like he went to a liquor store, got 2 bottles of bourbon, went to Princeton, and then bribed his way through the school until he got them to open up the locked office door to see the state that Albert Einstein left his office in at the time of his death. The reason I like this, aside from it being famous and sort of interesting on the story side, is that I like the idea that he worked to the very end. He didn't sort of coast near the end, that he's still working just as hard near the end of his life as he was earlier. And I don't remember exactly how old he was when he died, but he wasn't young. I'd say at least mid-70s, perhaps a little bit older than that. So that's what that print is from. Someone said that's a pretty famous picture, so not super unique that I've got it. And then the last thing I've got here is one last New Yorker cartoon. This is going to be a kind of working lunch, and I liked that because it's accepted that executives and salespeople and white-collar types will go out to a working lunch and get all sorts of things done. But when you just take that idea and put a different kind of profession, substitute that in, then it doesn't exactly seem as sensible. So, and then the last thing. So I have a whiteboard that sort of is to my left as I work, and I put kid art goes here because I cleaned it yesterday, but the kids generally draw on this, something different every day or two, and I enjoy that. So that's usually what I keep on the wall. So anyhow, that's my modest art collection in my home office. I hope you enjoyed it.